It's time for the Double J Podplex, where wrestling lives. So man up and step on in. Your wrestling news and commentary. Here are your hosts, Jeremy and Jimmy.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Double J Podplex. I am Jeremy, and alongside is my co-host Jimmy as always. Jimmy, what's good?
Yes, sir. I was reading a couple books earlier, and did you know that a lager was a type of Viking ship?
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
something.
Sir. Do your own research, but a lager was a Viking ship. It didn't have a mermaid at the end of it. It had a big swamp lizard.
Swamp lizards.
Swamp lizard.
That's pretty interesting.
Now you got to go figure out what the hell a swamp lizard is,
Right.
and then I'll get back with you.
All right. Well, make sure you get on that.
But this is the go-home show before WrestleMania.
Yes, this is.
This is the show of shows. This is where legends are made, where it all begins again. The thrill ride, as it is called now. You've had rattlesnakes, Brahma bulls, heartbreak kids, hitmen, giants, demons, dead men, and more to come.
And many more.
And many more to come. But I promise this one will be phenomenal.
This will be phenomenal. And speaking of phenomenal, we have the first guest of our show today. So allow me to introduce you to my brother Chris. Chris.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me on your Podplex.
And
we have another special guest. We have my godchild, Christopher's son, Tyler. Tyler, do you have anything to say?
What do we got over here? A cup of haters.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I tell you what,
cup of haters.
that might be my new ringtone.
It is.
That might
Set it right now.
And I should also say that Tyler is actually the best looking of the four of us in this room right now.
For sure.
And
Debatable.
the young man, he's going to grow up to be something great.
The brother comes, that's debatable. So yeah, this is awesome. We have our first special guest of the show, and this is something we've been wanting to do for a while. And I'm sure we will have many more guests in the future. So let's talk about WrestleMania. We're gonna go through all the matches, and we're gonna speak our piece about them. And then Tyler is gonna actually give us what he thinks or who he thinks will win each match.
Right. We will have our opinion, and then we would love to hear his opinion as well. Yeah. This is a show all about family, right. And we got the youngest member of the Double J Podplex, ready and willing.
Ready and willing. So let's get to it. These matches aren't going to be in any specific order. We'll just, my brother wrote it down.
Because we were not born in a specific order.
Right, exactly.
The Lord decided.
Right, that's true.
All right. I'm going to confession later because I drank too damn much last night. And woke up with some chick named Sharon. I don't know who the hell Sharon is, but
Sharon.
Oh, Sharon.
Oh, Sharon.
The only issue is the next morning I got on the front door some dude named Stanley. Now I'm really hoping that there's no connection between Sharon and Stanley. I'm hoping that it wasn't one of those Transformers.
We'll find out.
We will find that out. Keep you updated, Mr. Bergeron.
Thank you, Jimmy. So we're going to get to the first match. Again, not in any specific order. We're going to go with Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental title. That should be a good match. I'm actually rooting for Baron Corbin here.
I am too. He's moving up the ladder on SmackDown. He's becoming a main event player.
Yes.
Getting a match with Ambrose at Mania proves that. At the same time, you want to see Ambrose look good losing, if indeed he does lose.
Right.
one thing I do want to bring up about that match, if they do not turn this into some type of street fight or no holds barred, they're missing out. You have two of the most brutal guys in WWE
Yes.
in a match at Mania.
At Mania.
I mean,
The grandest stage of them all. You got to go big or go home, right?
that's it. That's what we're doing now.
Right. That's right.
This is big.
We are taking over the airwaves.
We own the airwaves.
We own the airwaves.
This started as a two-man show. We doubled it tonight.
We doubled it. We doubled the Double J. That's what we did. So it's quadruple J for tonight at least.
That's a lot of J's.
That is a lot of J's.
That's a lot of J's.
So Christopher, what are your thoughts on this match?
Well, I do agree with Jimmy. I would say Baron Corbin is definitely going up the ladder, and I think he is one of the few NXT stars that was in the show that has shown he can be a main event caliber wrestler. He needs to sharpen up on the mic skills, but that's besides the point. The last couple of weeks as I've been watching SmackDown, I see he's taken steps and he's grown a lot because I had very few confidence in him. Just winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I believe it was 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago. Well, since then he's become a different ball player, and just like you said, a street fight or something along that line would really bring out the best in both of these, and the characters of both, of the Lone Wolf and the insane lunatic fringe,
That's
Dean
right.
Ambrose. They just need to go all out, and we're going to see the turnout of this match is going to be something that I'm very interested in. And, we're just going to have to see where it goes.
Yeah. Actually, not to go back to what you're saying, I think he won it last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, because it was Cesaro at 30, Big Show at 31, and then last year was Corbin.
Right.
It was
You're
last
right.
year.
Well,
But anyway, I digress.
yeah, no, we're going to see what happens.
Yeah.
I think that has a...
The Power Rangers.
Well, it seems like we have a couple haters.
We
That's
have
what
a
it
couple
seems
of
like.
haters.
Oh, no, not him.
the Power Rangers.
Okay, for us out there that don't recognize, the Power Rangers came out in theaters today. And has Elizabeth Banks, who is one of the most beautiful human beings on planet Earth. I would drink her sister's bathwater just to get to her. And, that's just the way these things are. Now, moving right along.
Moving forward here,
Moving forward, let's disregard the horrible thing I say. And let's move on to the second step of our thrill ride.
The second match will be Kevin Owens versus, in my opinion, the GOAT, Chris Jericho.
And yes, one thing I do want to clear up actually, going back a little bit to Ambrose and Corbin. Did we all pick Corbin?
Yeah.
Is that the official?
Actually, yeah. Wait. Actually,
Yeah, we need it. He says Corbin too.
Yeah.
So
Tyler says
we
Corbin. We're
so
Corbin.
it's unanimous for Baron Corbin. So, in other words, if Ambrose does win, since it is a unanimous pick, we will all streak at the next Baby Cakes game. Anyway, the GOAT,
Jericho
versus Mr. Kevin Owens. Fight Owens
KO
fight.
Mania.
KO. How great is that shirt?
I love the shirt. I love the throwbackness of it.
The shirt is one of the coolest shirts in quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, in quite a while. The breakup of Kevin Owens and Jericho was done so well. You have two guys who basically saved Raw with what they were doing.
Yeah.
You have two guys who created something out of nothing and now are benefiting off of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because just like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they're much better enemies than they are friends.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Did you know you can actually buy a poster of the Festival of Friendship on WWE's website?
yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
I saw that, and I'm really, really tempted to get one and hang it in my bathroom. Now, it's just to hang in my bathroom. It's nothing like, I mean, KO's a nice-looking guy, but, not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, right. There's the Seinfeld reference right there. We do at least one Seinfeld reference every each episode.
The thing, I guess you start to ask around this time of year, since it is the show of shows, you would almost expect higher profile matches, obviously. So does this stay just a regular title match? Just a regular United States Championship match?
I think so.
I think it does too.
So.
I think so because both guys have proven that they can wrestle. You don't need to add stipulations to the match, and
Right.
you could see that.
Right.
That's absolutely right.
The only reason I even bring it up is just because it's a grudge match. It's not just a simple title match. So I don't know.
Well, I have a question for you, Jimmy. So after this match, let's say that Kevin Owens wins. He advances and he gets back into the. Do you see him getting back into the world title picture?
Eventually, I don't think it's any secret that they're saving Finn Balor for something. I don't think it's any secret that Samoa Joe may be higher up already on the totem pole. But Kevin Owens is still one of the biggest stars on Raw, regardless of the outcome. And we'll have to see where that goes. I think he, within the next year, yes. But I don't think right away, no.
One more question for you. What did you think overall about his reign? How was it? How it was told? How he was used? How he was portrayed?
Well, I think his reign was definitely stained a little bit by the way Jericho helped him, and it wasn't Jericho's fault. It wasn't the fact that they were best friends. That was actually a really good angle, but it was the fact that he looked like a scared little kid, where that's not what we came to like about Kevin Owens. I mean, his chant is "Fight Owens, fight," and he was doing quite the opposite about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
okay, well, I appreciate the answer.
So who are we picking?
I'm gonna let y'all go first on that.
Me personally, I'm going with Owens because I just see Owens getting the best of Jericho. And I do not see Jericho coming out on top of this.
And I concur with that. As much as I love Chris Jericho, he's my boy, my favorite, one of my top 3 favorite wrestlers. And Jericho is also known for putting, not that Kevin Owens needs to be put over, but he's known for being one of those guys that doesn't mind doing that. And and I think Chris Jericho is also going to be doing Fozzy tours. They're in the process of writing a new record, so he'll be busy touring with Fozzy too. So I think Kevin Owens will win this one too.
I mean, yeah. See, that's the problem with me hearing 2 people say their opinion before mine. I get to lie and say it was my opinion.
Right.
So, the fact, one, Jericho is known to put younger guys over because he has a true respect and love for the business and understands it. And 2, like you said, he's going on tour with Fozzy.
Yeah.
Now, if you take the Fozzy thing out of the equation, I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance he pulls it off.
A little different.
But I think you see a match where Kevin Owens comes out looking like the fighter, the prize fighter that he was. And I think that's what he goes on as. He has to beat Jericho to continue his character. He's going to be buried if he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So that's another unanimous for Kevin Owens. It's going to get a little mixy at some point, but right now we're all together.
Okay.
We're all together like a big black family.
That's right.
The Proud family.
The Proud family, that's right.
Just call us Mr. and Mrs. Proud.
That's right.
I mean, I guess I'd be Mrs. because I have long hair, but, and my love for, musicals. But
right. So now, we're going to go to some tag team action.
All right, tag teaming it.
We're going to go with the Enzo and Cass versus Anderson and Gallows versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
Right. First off, the genius that was Mick Foley, or at least portrayed on television, to put together Cesaro and Sheamus as a tag team. When it first happened, I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world, but he was smart enough to realize that Cesaro would help make Sheamus more popular again. Simple as that. I thought that was impressive. I think they're going to help highlight what is going to be a very good triple threat match in Mania.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I think anything with Cesaro in it,
Yes.
it's going to be good.
Yeah, he's great.
He's one of those guys that's like known for doing something just like holy cow, like when he freaking body slammed Big Show over the top rope to win the first Andre the Giant Battle Royal. We witnessed that in person. By the way.
For sure did. That is no small man.
No,
that is no small man.
No.
Then of course you have Enzo and Big Cass, who is, I don't know if there's anybody more over with the crowd in the past couple years, much less now. They were one of the most highly anticipated acts coming out of NXT. And Enzo has took the ball and literally ran with it.
Yes.
There's more down the road for them. But them being involved in this match is incredible. They're getting a Mania moment.
Yes.
I think that's great. It's a big salute to what they've done. Mm-hmm. But the question I want to ask you is, and this is, I feel, how WWE wants us to talk about it. We've talked about Cesaro and Sheamus. We've talked about Enzo and Big Cass. We haven't even mentioned our tag team champions. Will the club walk away WrestleMania with the titles?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe this could be Enzo and Cass's big break. I think. I don't know. This one's kind of tough. I mean,
it's always tough when you have three teams involved,
right?
Much less three teams who can conceivably win.
And and if you look at them, all three teams are really over with the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with I think Enzo and Cass will finally get the big break at the big stage.
Okay.
I think they will.
It's very, very tricky because the last couple of weeks, Sheamus and Cesaro, to me, have not taken over, but they've definitely got a bigger pop than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the tag team because it's almost like a dysfunctional brotherhood.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's definitely entertaining now.
It's very entertaining.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely entertaining.
And like Jeremy said, anything with Cesaro is a true wrestler.
Oh, he's the man.
Him and Sheamus together, they really could be a dominant team.
And not to interrupt you before I forget, the thing I think is interesting about Cesaro is this is the guy that Vince McMahon said could never get over with the crowd, was never going to be a fan favorite. Well, Vince is getting a little elderly. Maybe it's time for Hunter to take over. Or me. So I just want to put my hat in the ring. If Vince is
Go
listening.
ahead, throw your hat in there.
Because everybody knows
Or your name in there.
that Vincent Kennedy McMahon's listens to the Quadruple J Podplex.
Okay. If he doesn't, he should.
That's right. I'll call Trump on him again.
Oh.
Don't make me do it. If you can lose your hair
I'm
again,
going to
babe.
say shave the head.
You can lose your hair again, babe.
Lose your head again.
But your pick, sir.
My pick, I'm actually going to go with Enzo and Big Cass. I just like Jeremy said, I think they grab the brass ring and they go climb up the ladder as the top tag team on Raw right now.
And I noticed something. It almost seems to me like Enzo and Cass aren't really pushed enough, so to speak, if that's the way to describe it.
Not to cut you off, but I don't see that. I kind of agree. They're not really pushed to me as a tag team. They're pushed in the sense of when they show up on the camera and they get that crowd.
Right.
They liven things up. They put some rejuvenation in things, and that's what I see with them. And I agree. I think they could be dominant.
Right. I think as far as they go, they're a glorified New Day in a sense.
Yeah.
I think, and not to put down the New Day, because the New Day were the longest reigning tag champions. Looked great, And I think just the difference is kind of like you were saying. They're almost like not a sideshow because you feel like that's putting them down,
Right.
but they don't seem like champions yet.
Right.
Although them winning at Mania, the pop would be out of this world. But hey, it's early. It's early, and it's already our first differ. I believe that the club, Anderson and Gallows, need a defining win to make them legitimate on the long road.
Okay.
For me,
makes sense.
this match goes about who needs it more. Who we want to see is Enzo and Cass. I don't think there's any mistake about that. But I think the club needs the win more. And think about it like this. Similar to, now this is not a tag team, but similar to people like Jeff Hardy. Similar to people like Daniel Bryan in a way. It's more about the climb than the actual summit. It's more about getting there than actually retrieving it. And I think you put a lot of pressure on WWE Creative to be able to create a narrative where they're underdogs chasing the title. But I do believe it's going to happen. But to finalize, I believe the club continues their reign. Point blank.
Right. Okay. All right. That seems pretty.
May have been a little lengthy explanation.
No,
but this is the show
fine.
of shows.
Yeah. Yeah. That is definitely allowed here for sure. But so we got that match. I think Enzo and Cass will finally win it. So now the next match we're going to discuss is a match that I'm not too sure how I feel about it, but that is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles going up against Shane McMahon. Is like I said, this match I think it will be a good match just because AJ Styles is in it, obviously.
Right.
But the opponent, I'm just kind of scratching my head at it.
For starters, he is the phenomenal one.
Yes.
But I believe
Correct.
my other Jay over there may have something to say about this.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
I disagree 100%.
He's getting red over there. He's ready.
This is the one match that I can say is a fail.
Yes.
It is a fail in a lot of ways. And the creative team to have multiple months, year, to think of this WrestleMania lineup and to put AJ Styles in a match against Shane McMahon that all he does is throw punches to the gut 80,000 times and jumps off of something onto a table. Yeah, it's entertaining to some people, but that's not what I want to see someone like AJ Styles' caliber against.
Right.
There's so many more people like renew the rival of Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. Look at someone like a Sami Zayn who seems to be stepping out of his shell.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like that. Or a Finn Balor. How about that? Club against club.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this is the biggest waste of a match, and I think Shane McMahon is doing a disservice by taking that spot from somebody. And that's how I honestly feel.
I agree with that.
What I would say to that is, first of all, the Samoa Joe thing, I would have loved to see too. Seeing a rematch not only of TNA but ROH as well. I mean, I think that'd be great. To me, it seems like this was a forced match. I believe also that Shane and Taker was a forced match last year. I feel like Shane can make the big moment. It's not going to be a good match, but I think he can make the big moment. And that's why they were okay with doing it. However, due to the fact of what we recently found out, Shawn Michaels was offered the match with AJ. Maybe they were really banking on that. Maybe they were banking on the fact that you could have Mr. WrestleMania versus the phenomenal one at WrestleMania 33. Now, wishful thinking, I hope they're saving it for WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans.
Oh.
But, hey,
that would be great.
I'd cry.
I would.
I'd cry.
I'd cry.
I'm
for
ready.
you.
I'm crying now.
I'd cry.
I'm huge. But
Okay.
the one other thing I would say, more to your point, talking about guys like Finn and Sammy and and Smojo. Shinsuke Nakamura, another one. I mean, there's so many different guys that could tear the roof off with AJ Styles.
Yep.
And you got AJ versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. That to me is pitiful as well. I agree with you.
Very.
However, I think AJ's doing a hell of a job pushing the hatred over your manager. In a way, it almost, not nowhere as much, but it almost rivals in feel the way Stone Cold was with Vince. It's nowhere near as severe as that is.
No, I can agree with that.
But it's against authority. I do like that. But they're, pardon my French, but they're covering up their shit stain with a towel. That's what this is. This is not, we think it's going to be a great match with he and Shane. That's not what this is.
No.
It's not right.
Not to cut you off, but I have another question for both of you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, barring what happens with this match, say the outcome is a Shane McMahon victory.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you think that forces the situation of AJ Styles moving to Raw?
I think so. Because that has been talked about.
I think so as well.
They'll do some sort of trade.
Daniel Bryan technically fired him. Okay? Then Shane came out and said, blah, 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 you want a match at Mania, you can have it. Okay. So, you would assume there's some type of stipulation. May it be that if AJ loses, he's done on SmackDown, which means he would transfer to Raw.
Or it would mean the new general manager for Raw would make a big acquisition and bring him in, and that would start a brand new, fresh storyline. Right. The new general manager, many speculate to be Kurt Angle. But there's going to be some type of something outside of it's Shane and AJ. So it's definitely real to speculate something. It would really, that better not be towards the end of the card, because I'll turn the son of a bitch off. Like, if AJ loses to Shane straight up or something like that, I might be done. I'll still record this podcast because I'll be yelling about it, but I'll be done with, but to answer that the first part about going to Raw opened up options with not only, Gallows and Anderson, but Finn as well. So that's interesting. However, he really is working really well on SmackDown. He looks good on that, not that he couldn't look good in red. But him losing to Shane would be aggravating as all hell. But,
that would also be his second WrestleMania loss in a row.
Oh.
Because he lost to Jericho last
He did lose to Jericho.
Which that match was really good.
Phenomenal.
Really, yeah.
No
phenomenal.
pun intended.
Yeah. You had the phenomenal one and the greatest ever.
Yeah.
So, it was a good match.
Another loss at Mania wouldn't look good, for sure.
The thing is, there's only a number of superstars that could survive 2 straight WrestleMania matches lost. He would be one of them.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Would I be okay with it? Hell no.
No.
But would he be able to survive it? Of course. But SmackDown would also lose a very big player. So.
Yeah. So who are we, predicting?
I guess I'll, throw my hat in there and stomp all over it and say that, keeping my sanity in mind, and I'm not talking about the NXT faction, I'm going to go AJ Styles. I think AJ's going to beat the dog pulp out this dude.
I agree. I think regardless of who wins, I think somehow AJ Styles could possibly see his way to Raw. So, either way.
I think eventually he can, regardless of what happens.
So, but I'll go with AJ
I also
Styles
think
as well.
he's going to do something crazy to make this match worth watching.
Yeah.
So.
In your pick, sir?
I'm gonna go with Styles because I cannot see them putting McMahon over Styles. Just like you mentioned, 2 losses in a row. It's very hard to think about that when you really think about the wrestler that AJ Styles is.
Right.
But you cannot have Shane McMahon beat AJ Styles.
That would make the internet explode, literally.
So that's a clean sweep, it looks like.
Clean sweep on that one.
Sweep.
Oh, it's true. It's
damn
Damn
true.
true. That's right.
Yes, indeed.
So,
Oh, man.
so after discussing that one, we're gonna head to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
I don't even know the participants.
Well, nor do I. I guess...
But I can tell you my winner right here. Right off the bat.
There we go. We're ready.
Winner, Mojo Rawley.
Ooh.
Mojo Rawley.
Ooh.
Zack Ryder got hurt, got put on the shelf, and I'm going to tell you right now, he hasn't not ran away with it, but he's been put in the spotlight a little bit against Dolph Ziggler feud.
Yes, he has.
And I think he still has that football mentality the way he wrestles, but I think he could still be a little something.
The thing about Mojo that I love is he is hype.
He's hype.
The way he, puts it. He is a very interesting superstar. He's very fun to watch. I'm not even worried about how technically he is at wrestling. But dude, that is a hell of a pick. That is a hell of a pick. Right out the gates, just out to, guns blazing, ready. I don't know that I could pick against that. I swear to God. I would not have picked Mojo. I think somehow Braun Strowman is going to end up in the match and win it. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal is something that's kind of difficult to pick, so to speak, because you don't really know who the hell's involved. It's like the Royal Rumble,
right?
But at least then you know some people. The Andre the Giant is kind of.
I'm not sure what that was.
Oh yeah, that's my phone.
It could be a phone vibrating.
Could be a phone vibrating on an acoustic guitar.
I could have passed gas.
That's right. That's all right. It was at 31 minutes, so I'll be able to delete it.
Oh, good. Yeah, we got a.
Yeah,
that almost sounded like a tugboat.
I thought, and we're actually going to leave this in because I thought we were truly being invaded by aliens. I thought it finally happened.
Finally happened.
They were finally coming to bring me back to my mothership. Myself and Kramer could go back to the cosmos.
There you go. With Babs.
With Babs.
His mom, Babs.
I have a great friend of mine by the name of Babs.
We actually have a friend of ours named Babs.
She is finally not pissed with me anymore, so that's a great situation.
Absolutely.
But the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Honestly, I think you said the winner.
Yeah, Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
I agree 100%. But there's something deep down inside that I could see hype bros coming in there and taking out the big man.
Dude, I can't tell you how much I'd love to see Braun Strowman. Mojo Rawley win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I think that'd be incredible, man. It's similar to last year when Zack Ryder had a defining moment winning the ladder match. That was incredible. Yeah. He had his WrestleMania moment. I think Mojo deserves it, and it'd be great to see it happen. However, I think WWE is going to turn the other cheek, and it's going to be Braun Strowman,
right.
Who, although I'm not the biggest fan of him, has done a very good job as of late. Past couple weeks, I thought he's been good, and he's also been over with the crowd because he's been against a one Roman Reigns. So, my pick, Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman, that's my pick too.
Well, I think it's settled. We have 2 Strowman and 1 Mojo Rawley. So we're going to see what happens, gentlemen.
I would like to say on record that I pray that we're wrong.
Right.
I wanted to be Mojo Rawley. I want
it to be someone from,
I wanted to be Mojo Rawley,
comer,
as much as I wanted to be the South Carolina Gamecocks winning March Madness right now. Although they would destroy any chance I had of a championship, but that's fine.
My team to win the bracket is still in there. Kansas. I picked Kansas to win. So
I had North Carolina Tar Heels.
I think I had Gonzaga.
But so that is the Andre the Joint.
Andre the
Giant Battle Royal.
Andre the Joint, huh?
The Joint.
All right. So next here, we're gonna take a turn and get a little sassy with the SmackDown Divas Championship match with Alexa Bliss.
Not the Divas Championship.
Oh, they're not Divas anymore?
No.
What are they then?
They are superstars, just like just like the rest of it. It's a women's.
That's a bunch
title.
of poppycock. That's what that
It's
is.
a
You know
women's
what?
Title now. It's
You
not
know what?
the
I'm
Divas Championship.
I'm getting tired of this
that thing
equal
was
rights
hideous,
shit.
by the way, too.
Yeah. Tell the bitches to make me a sandwich.
That's what I'm saying. We got look. They now have Women's Month.
That's
Okay.
right. They've been showing that on Raw. And
They have
SmackDown
Women's
and
Month.
stuff.
Okay.
You know what?
I'm tired of them creating months. Okay, we have 12. That's it. No more creations.
March 25th, 2017, declare Manuary.
Today's 24.
The 4th?
No, he's looking in the future. He's
Oh,
looking
look
in
at
the
in
future.
the future. Oh, okay.
Manuary is a man's month.
Manuary.
Where we grow our beards out and get spaghetti sauce stuck in our goatees.
Yeah, and drink a lot. Uncle Jimmy doesn't like to drink, folks.
I love this show.
This show is entertaining.
But back to business.
Yeah,
It's
back to
entertain-
business here.
Entertainment for the masses.
That's right. Taking over the airwaves.
So we have Alexa Bliss versus the SmackDown women's roster, with rumors being that there will be several veteran divas, as they were
Yeah,
called,
quote unquote.
coming back to be in the match, such as Lita, Victoria,
Maria,
Maria,
and Kelly.
and Kelly. Two that can't wrestle. One that is probably can body slam Kane maybe on a good day.
Yeah.
And the other one, she's a freak. She could do flips. She wore
We see her
thongs.
thong, right?
Yeah,
She
she's
sees a
tatted
thong.
up. I mean,
And she's a Hall of Famer.
That's entertainment that only Mania can bring. First off, as far as that match goes, it should be almost a foregone conclusion. Alexa Bliss takes it. I think Alexa Bliss keeps the
Think
title.
so.
However, looking at the other women involved, it's going to be interesting. They're going to make it interesting. Although the women coming in like Lita, Victoria, unless they're staying, which Lita isn't, it makes no sense for them to really take it. So,
well, my opinion here is that last time I recall, it was in the hometown of Naomi, who had to vacate the title, and
Right.
who is one woman superstar that can hold her own. So I would not be surprised to see them put it right back on her. But
that's if
that's
she's cleared to wrestle too.
that's if she's clear to wrestle.
right,
correct.
she's clear.
If she's clear, but I think she deserves it. I mean,
I
she
agree.
is a well performer. She is shown on Raw when she was on Raw that she can wrestle.
I was so happy when she won it. Honestly.
Yeah,
I really
me
was.
too. No, I think it's if she is indeed involved, I think it would be smart to put it back on her. The other person who I'm the other two who I think are possibilities. Becky Lynch is always a possibility. You can put the strap on her whenever the hell you want, and I have. But thinking about when they brought in Mickie James, you brought in Mickie James out of nowhere, not necessarily out of nowhere, but seemingly out of nowhere.
Right.
To do what? That's the issue I have right now. You brought in Mickie James, who was a big name from the past, who was supposed to help the women's revolution on SmackDown, which has to a certain extent. Do you let her have a big payoff with her defeating the, 7 other women, by winning the title?
I think it's possible.
I think it's possible, too.
I think it's very possible, actually.
I would say I think this match may be one of the hardest to predict.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Because there's so many people involved.
It's not like
possibilities.
it could go to anybody. It's like, who do they want to benefit off of after Mania?
Right.
Right.
So, okay. So who's your pick?
My
You're
pick-
picking Naomi.
I'm picking Naomi.
Naomi. You know what? I would really like to go for Naomi as well, but I'm gonna go with Mickie James because after hearing Jimmy explain what he just did,
He sold you, huh?
Yeah, he sold me on that. Sold me on it. I think he's right.
Well, this is why I lost my virginity at 12. I'm able to persuade people to do things.
There you
Now, it was against my pastor, so let's not get too hey to go, buddy. It was against my pastor. It was Pastor Matthews. He had very soft and caressing hands, and he smoked cigars. I don't know if that's a Bill Clinton joke or not yet, but it might be. But Uncle Jimmy is going to pass it right back to Jeremy.
Absolutely. So moving on. We're gonna get to the Neville and Austin Aries match. So I think finally Austin Aries is gonna, we haven't seen him wrestle in a while. Just he was injured, correct? So I think Austin Aries is gonna win this one.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I haven't seen much into this, but I think Austin Aries is gonna take it. We all have seen him in TNA and other wrestling promotions that he can be a main event star too, and I think soon enough that could take a turn that he could get out of the Cruiserweight, but not too sure. But I'm gonna keep it short and sweet and go with Austin Aries.
First off, I'd like to say the job Neville did as the big heel of the Cruiserweights has been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
For him to come back and be a Cruiserweight in general, I thought was impressive. Secondly, I'll say, as far as the Cruiserweights go, and Jeremy, you mentioned this the other day, they need to remove the purple Cruiserweight just in general. That was for the Cruiserweight tournament. This is no longer a freaking tournament. This is now a segment on Raw. This is now, you're part of the Raw roster. There should be no more purple everywhere around. This is no longer a tournament.
I'm not a fan.
You're wrestlers now.
Right.
Okay, you're pro wrestlers now. You're not just in a tournament. So I have a little bit of an issue with that. However, as far as Austin Aries goes, talking about from TNA, how great he was, Ring of Honor, how great he was, Ring of Honor champion, TNA champion. This guy is the real deal. He could have easily gone back to NXT, won the NXT championship, could have had a tremendous match with himself and Bobby Roode, another TNA guy. He could have been, the upper middle card on either show. Instead, he decided to move on down to the Cruiserweights. And for him to, I don't want to say lower himself, but for him to be okay with being in the Cruiserweight division, dude, he's ready for big things. And I think he beats Neville at Mania, and it starts a feud.
That's a pretty good and bold prediction.
I think he starts a feud with Neville, and it's good for the Cruiserweight division to have a marquee feud.
Right.
That's what it was missing.
So are we all going to Austin Aries here?
Aries.
I believe we all Aries.
Okay.
We are all going for the second greatest man who ever lived.
Aside you?
Aside me, obviously.
Right,
yes,
right.
yes. I thought there was right.
So moving on. We're going to go back to the Raw Women's Championship match between Charlotte, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's much discussion for all of this. We all know who's going to take the title and bring home the gold for this, and I truly think it needs this title. It's just better looking with flair.
There it is.
What I mean.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
And she makes it look good. She is a great wrestler, and she's a wonderful champion. And I just think the belt belongs on her. And it has nothing to do with the name and the legacy. It belongs on her.
Right.
I look
agree
at
with
Bayley, and I look at Bayley as a kid. I look at Charlotte, and I look at somebody who wants to kick somebody's ass. And that's just my opinion. But who cares about my opinion? Let's talk about the Double J over here.
Well, putting it like this, what I said earlier about a lot of wrestlers, that it's more fun to watch them, the fight, the climb to the title. That's what it was with Bayley. Albeit, I think they went a little too soon on it. Had this been Bayley without the title, I think they would have gave it to her at Mania. But she's already had her reign. Sasha Banks, as a face, has always been, it's about the climb. It's about eventually getting that title shot, eventually getting the title. With Charlotte is a great champion. As a heel. Period. It's just, in our day and age, in all honesty, heels are better champions.
Yeah.
It is much easier to cheer for the opponent, cheer for the challenger, than the champion. It is much easier. Therefore, I'm going to go, and I'm going to bypass all the Nia Jax crap. I'm going to go with Miss Charlotte Flair.
I'm going with Miss Charlotte Flair as well.
I'm sorry. Make a small little comment. I hate to admit this, but I do own a Nia Jax T-shirt.
He does, actually. He
And
does.
It is one of the most uncomfortable things to ever put on my body because every time I wear it, I feel like Nia Jax is just sitting on me.
And,
She's a big lady.
and in case you're wondering why my brother has a Nia Jax shirt,
Slightly.
on WWE Shop a couple months back, they had these mystery boxes where you get it was like $25 for
Right.
5 shirts, but you didn't. It was the shirts were picked at random,
Right.
and one of them happened to be a
A
Nia Jax shirt.
And if they do still have that promotion,
They don't.
well, if they ever bring it back, I should tell everybody they need to go do that because it's like waking up on Christmas morning.
You don't
Right,
know,
right.
You don't know who you get.
Exactly.
And it's a wonderful
Well,
feeling.
Right.
As far as that goes, you paid for the mystery box. You knew about the mystery. It could be anything, and you got to live by it, man. I'd wear it.
I actually
I'd wear it loud and proud.
Oh,
I got-
I wear it.
Yeah,
I wear it when I go ball on the basketball court.
That's right. Right. They know not to mess with a man with a Nia Jax shirt.
Right.
Yeah, that dude might bite something off. Like you never know what the something.
Don't
is.
come in the paint on me, baby.
It could be something mild, like when Tyson bit off the ear, or it could be,
Something
Lynn
mild
Gavin.
and Foley lost in the air.
he did,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did, and a couple teeth.
Yeah, teeth. Teeth were up in his nose.
Teeth were in his nose. It was, it's just a regular Saturday night down here at the man cave.
Right.
All right, breaking news, everybody.
Breaking news.
South Carolina upset Baylor 72-50.
Okay.
Jimmy Jam over there. What you
Okay.
got to say?
Okay, so first of all, this is live. This is not no bullshit. This is live. I just want to put out there that James V. Warren III is basically a sports god. I picked South Carolina early because, you just have those feelings about the Gamecocks. You have the feeling, you're going to eventually get there. And I just want to put out there that this is a special moment for me because I am now realizing that I am a sports god, and I'm rarely wrong, and this just kind of proves it, man. And I'm kind of I'm enjoying this moment.
And you know what else that proves? That proves that Jimmy loves cocks. That's what that proves.
Hey,
I see what you did there, Jimmy Jam.
hey, if it's got to be that I love cocks to be a sports god, so be it.
So be it. Jimmy's cool with it.
I'm getting
Jimmy's
kind
You
of
know, if you're cool with it, I'm cool with it.
I'm getting kind of emotional over here, guys. So let's tone it down.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
Not right. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So moving on. So we have the SmackDown, the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. And the question is, who are they going to be fighting at Mania?
If.
That is
Who?
the question.
If. Who?
That was super loud on the keyboard.
That was super loud.
It's cool though. It's
It's
cool.
cool.
It's cool. They will hear it and they will like it.
That's right. So, I mean, that is the question. Who are they going to be fighting? There have been rumors going around that WWE offered contracts. That's right, stirring the pot.
Stirring the pot.
Stirring the pot over there. There have been contracts offered to the Hardy Boys, the Broken Hardys. I don't know. I think it could happen.
You're in a moment where you could keep it going with the Usos and American Alpha forever because that's all you have on SmackDown.
Right.
You had a moment where it could have been, I almost called them the Legion of Doom. It could have been
Ascension.
the Ascension.
The
The Ascension certainly coming out of NXT were a great tag team. WWE dropped the ball. But they had a moment that they could have brought it back. When they had, I don't remember what pay-per-view it was, when you had 6 tag teams for the gold.
Right.
The Ascension came in, they could have pinned American Alpha, but it, of course, didn't work out that way. That would have been very smart to add another team to, the level of American Alpha, or at least to be able to compete with them. However, getting back to the Hardys, this is the perfect opportunity. The Usos can go out there, issue an open challenge. If that happens, everybody in your room, wherever you're watching WrestleMania, needs to stand up.
Yes.
Because whoever you get is going to be amazing. Maybe you get the Broken Hardys. Maybe you get the old school Hardy Boys.
I'm going to say, do you think they'll stay broken?
I personally do because Matt owns that. I think Matt would push that. I don't think he'd sign without that being okay. You could also possibly get Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. That was another couple names thrown around. But of course, what we want is the Hardys. So let's not sugarcoat that. We want Broken Matt and Brother Nero to show up in Orlando at Mania and challenge for the SmackDown titles while holding the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships.
Wow. That would be a pretty.
First of all, that'll never happen. They won't have the straps with them, but still.
Well, I think we all agree. I think we're all good. We all want to see the Hardys.
Yes.
Will we see the Hardys? That's a question we're just going to have to.
We'll find out.
Find that answer out, and
we will find that answer out on April 2nd.
That's right.
As much as I hate to say it, my opinion, I think they're going to go with the easy answer, and that's Usos and American Alpha. I think they go for the easy answer.
Doesn't appeal to me.
It doesn't appeal to me that much either. American Alpha is a very good tag team, but they don't have. They're a good tag team.
They don't have the pizzazz.
Yeah, that's basically it. When you look at great tag teams, they're very good. When you look at great, you talk about the Dudleys, you talk about the Hardys, Edge and Christian, DX.
Terry Funk and Cactus Jack.
Yes, and damn deed.
Charlie and Cactus Jack. That's
yes,
right.
and damn deed. You think about great teams like that,
The Legion of Doom.
and then you mention American Alpha. American Alpha is young, and they have the ability to be that great. But as of right now, they're just a very good tag team. And you're right, they're missing the pizzazz, which they can gain. So predictions, I guess we could just say simply Usos keep or Usos drop.
Okay.
So we going keep.
I'm going drop.
Ooh.
I'm going drop.
I'm about to go drop.
Because I see them gaining the titles to kind of set everybody up. Because we all know the Usos as the loud cheering, standing on the Titantron, and now they're these ghetto thugs that listen to Bone Thugs and Harmony on Saturday night. And I think they put the belts on them because they want everybody to think, oh, this is stale. But if you insert the Hardys in, fire lit right there, and the crowd goes nuts.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to meet you at the crossroads, brother.
That's it.
And I'm going to have to say that the Usos drop the titles to whoever the hell they face at WrestleMania.
There you go.
May it be Brother Nero and Matt Hardy. May it be that Uncle Jimmy, the sports god, will start crying seeing them hold the titles. I'm going to cry a lot during Mania. I can have a feeling.
Yeah.
Hey, men cry, okay? Or, whatever I am. I might be a transformer by now. But regardless of who it is, I believe the Usos drop it.
Real men, remember, real men cry, and also real men wear skirts.
I don't know if I
can. To the headbangers.
Now, would that mean that Trump would go in there?
That's a good chance.
I tell you what, if he wants to come grab it and pay me off, that's a free tug.
Free tug.
Shit, that's a free tug.
He'd be getting the scamonga.
And something. I want to go back
in the ghetto community. That's a Saturday night.
I want to go back real quick. You mentioned we were talking about the tag team with the Usos. You mentioned Luke Harper.
I did.
That's one guy I could also see winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yes, that's okay. That's a good idea. I
just wanted to, I heard you say it, and I wanted to.
That's a good mention. I personally think that when Eric Rowan comes back, it's going to be he and Harper as a tag team.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe they join back up with Bray or what's going on there, but I think they're together. However, I agree with you. I think Luke Harper is one of the guys that they don't know what they have. I don't think the WWE knows what they have with him. If you look back and you see when he was in Ring of Honor, Brody Lee or Brody James, I always forget. I think it's Brody Lee, his name in Ring of Honor, and how good he was. I mean, the guy could go with anybody for his size.
Right.
So I agree with you.
Right. But anyway, moving on. I just wanted to kind of throw that there. But now we have the the mixed tag team match between John Cena and Bella versus The Miz and Maurice.
We have to take a minute and truly realize how great The Miz has been this year. On the mic, he is almost second to none right now. The smack talks that he did with Daniel Bryan were really, really passionate, and our beloved LSU Tigers just took a loss to the Florida Gators. So if you're in Florida and you listen to this, kiss your sister goodnight and go have a beer. That's about all I have to say, I guess. It didn't really have much to it. But getting back to it, I think The Miz and Maurice have done a great job promoting this. I think Cena is in his element when he's with The Miz.
Yes.
They've known each other for so long.
Yeah.
They obviously have very, very good chemistry. I think Nikki Bella is just there. You know, she's never really been much to me. Is she attractive? Yeah, but she's fake. I mean...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. However,
I can take it or leave it.
I'll swing it back to y'all, but I will leave my prediction. I'm going to say The Miz and Maurice beat Cena and Nikki Bella. I think Cena finally lets somebody go over on him.
I agree with that. I concur. What do you think, Chris?
I see John Cena and Nikki Bella being on top. Nikki Bella.
Belly to belly.
Coming out on top at the end of the match, and fireworks all over the place as a curveball is thrown as John Cena gets down on one knee and proposes to Nikki Bella in front of the WWE Universe when everybody thinks this man will never do it. He's going to shock the world.
That ain't no curveball. That's a knuckleball.
That's a knuckleball with extra spit on it, my friend.
Spit on it.
Okay. I, for the longest time, have been the master at hot takes. But that is a hot take.
Yes, it is.
That blew my mind a little bit. I'm not going to change my pick. However, I never thought I'd say this. I'm now rooting for John Cena and Nikki Bella.
Only if that happens. If the proposal happens.
Oh, if he doesn't propose, he needs to be fired.
Right.
That's it. Done. Yeah. You're in or you're not.
Right.
You know. But
anyway, yeah.
Anyway, we're going to move on to the Eater of Words and the Viper, Randy Orton. What do you guys think about this one?
I think this has potential to be a really good match. I think it will be. I'm just going to say it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been kind of working together for how long now?
Oh shit! Quite maybe 6 months or so.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I think they have a good chemistry together, and it'll turn out to be a good match. As far as the victor, I think Randy Orton will win.
Yeah,
I think so.
However,
it's not often that someone wins the Rumble and doesn't win at Mania. You know?
Hold that thought, Jimmy Jam.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go with Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Because I think Bray Wyatt is as we talked about with the AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt cannot lose again. He's lost to Cena. He's lost to Taker. He needs a defining win to carry that championship reign to something that we all know he can take it.
Right.
And I see not a straight match. I see a little interference with Luke Harper joining back with the Wyatt family and giving the assist. And I'm not playing into all this SmackDown with them rivaling and feuding right now. I think Wyatt stays on top and comes out with a big win.
I'm going to go ahead and change my answer. He sold me on that. Because I totally forgot that he had lost the past two WrestleManias. So
it's one of those days that I could just sit here and listen to y'all because that's so damn good. And in all honesty, he said exactly what I wanted to say.
Not really much to add to it,
good.
I guess.
Hey, I do believe that Bray Wyatt needs a defining win. He's been in 2 big feuds at Mania and hasn't really come much of it. I think him beating Randy Orton and keeping his title makes his title legitimate, makes his title run legitimate, makes his followers legitimate. I think this creates a much more powerful Bray Wyatt that we will be able to enjoy for the next year until the next Mania. So I'm going Bray Wyatt.
All right, so we're all going Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Good. And now we're going to go to Triple H and Seth Rollins.
Ooh.
This match has been talked about for a long time now.
Right.
And it'll be great. It's going to be
Right.
awesome.
Well, my take on that is it's an unsanctioned match, and anytime you have an unsanctioned match like that at Mania, it ends up being great.
Yeah.
You had it with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. You had it with Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels. You may have had it with Shawn Michaels and I don't know, the mayor of Kenner. But Shawn Michaels has been in a lot of unsanctioned matches, but they've always been good. Having Seth Rollins and Triple H in a match where almost anything can happen, as heated as this feud is, it sparks all kinds of great questions. It sparks, is Finn involved? How involved is Samoa Joe? How involved is Kevin Owens? How involved is Roman Reigns? It brings up a lot of questions, but I think it just makes sense if you're going on who's going to come out the victor. It makes sense for it to be Seth Rollins, unless you have some crazy swerve like Finn joining Triple H.
You think that could happen?
It's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's certainly possible. I see more of Triple H creating this little faction, and then Finn coming back, and it being the Bullet Club versus the Authority, or the Balor Club versus the Authority later on. I could see that happening. But, yeah, my answer would be Seth.
And I'll go ahead and say Seth, too.
We all know that Triple H is good at putting people over.
Yes.
He is very good at creating stars, building them up, and he said it perfectly, planting the blueprint and letting them take it over from there. But what you said, Jimmy, I agree with about the whole Finn Balor. But except I'm taking it the other way. I think Seth Rollins. Personally, I don't know. We all don't know this injury, how really serious it is with his knee. But I say a big swerve at WrestleMania when the Demon Finn Balor comes out in front of the WrestleMania crowd when Rollins reveals he cannot compete, but he has an ally.
You know, I was yet again.
I know.
He's
I know, man. He
for being his first time on here, he's doing a hell of a job. He was literally bringing up what I was going to say as well, and there is that possibility because of how noted it is on Seth Rollins' injury. Are they maybe leading up to the biggest swerve you could imagine, which would be it's not Seth, it's Finn Balor handling his business. That'd be incredible, and it's an easy storyline to do. Why would Finn step in for Seth Rollins? One, he's always been against authority, hence the Bullet Club. And two, he gained respect after Rollins, and he had a classic at SummerSlam. It writes itself. So, I'm going to say Seth. That's incredible, though.
Yeah.
Let's, wow. So, please watch Mania.
He is doing one hell of a job.
He's doing a great
King
job,
of
man.
Kings
One hell of a-
versus the Demon King.
Ooh,
Whoa.
the King versus the Demon King. The battle for the throne, brother.
Yeah.
All right.
We shall see what happens.
And we shall also see what happens between Roman Reigns and the dead man, The Undertaker. the future Hall of Famer.
All right.
This is very sticky.
Yeah. Let me start by saying I believe Roman Reigns wins, and I believe he wins because of Taker. I think Taker is one of those guys who will put over a younger talent. He's one of those guys who will do it even if it puts him down or makes him look, whatever. Roman Reigns is so hated right now. Then what way to make him even more hated and just finally complete the heel turn than him beating Undertaker underhandedly at WrestleMania? I think Roman Reigns wins, and he cheats to win.
And that would be the right thing to do as far as making Roman a true heel.
As far as booking wise, I think it's
Right.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, and I'm a little skeptical with Taker's health. We all know he can put on the matches that he has in the past, but is he going to give us that match with Roman Reigns? I don't know. But I do, at the end, I see Reigns at top completing that full heel swing.
Mm-hmm.
But just to throw this little tidbit in there, I do, and this is out of the blue, but this is my thoughts, I do see Roman Reigns becoming a full heel and making that transition from Raw to SmackDown.
Oh.
With talks of John Cena leaving, and we already discussed AJ coming to Raw as a full heel, I think Reigns could take over the top blue brand heel and take over and let that be somewhat like The Rock did, let that be his show. I see Reigns taking over and being that top heel.
That sounds
Perfect.
perfect. That sounds very spot on. I think I will say, whoever it be, may it be Reigns coming over, may it be Styles staying on SmackDown, that's their show. I think that's what it is. Right now at Raw, whose show is it? Kind of like whose line is it anyway? Whose show is it on Raw? Right now, it's AJ Styles' show on SmackDown. Now, should Roman Reigns, like you said, leave Raw and go to SmackDown, it would be Reigns' show. AJ goes to Raw, it's AJ's show.
Yeah.
Now, may that be shared a little bit with Finn, and on the other side, may it be shared a little bit with Dean Ambrose or Bray Wyatt. There's always been a hierarchy in the WWE. Mm-hmm. You had The Rock, Austin, Triple H. When they split up, you had Undertaker, Randy Orton, Batista. There's always been like a 3 or so hierarchy.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to have a really strong one after WrestleMania, should everybody stay healthy. It's going to be interesting to see.
Very interesting.
But getting back to it, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I'm Roman Reigns as well.
So, does that mean that it's time for the main event?
If that's what we're going to call it.
There we go. There we go.
Because I'm going to call it a pussyfooter match, me.
I'm gonna let y'all start this. I gotta gather my feelings.
Jeremy, I want you to start this off because I'm about to break this microphone thinking about this match.
Don't break my microphone.
I'm not gonna break the
I
microphone.
paid very good money for that microphone. It lights up blue. And
It's blue.
You can see it. Lights up
$7
blue.
is not very good money, Jeremy.
It lights up. So, okay. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. This is, as we all know, the last 2 times, the last match I had and then at Rumble, it was very, very short-lived and shall I say, anticlimactic.
Well, it was the Rumble match, and you would have assumed that you would have had Lesnar in there to last longer. You would have certainly assumed that.
Right.
To me, it builds up this match. So, how do you feel about it, though?
Oh, it's... Look, Goldberg is a nostalgia act.
Yes.
Okay?
He's a glorified... He's glorified Taker.
He's got the spear,
Jackhammer.
the jackhammer, and, some punches and kicks. That's it. Brock Lesnar. He has, where he takes his shoulder into, while the opponent's in the corner, takes his shoulder. Yeah. He's got Suplex City and F5. This match, it's about the names. It's about what's on the marquee.
Well, of course.
This match, it's not going to be anything spectacular. I mean, and that's pretty much it,
Let's also remember that Goldberg sweats profusely.
He does.
So that may play a factor in a wet mat.
Brock also sweats a lot as well.
Well, they're two huge human beings.
Right.
They're two massive people.
Yeah.
They're gonna sweat. The thing that I couldn't agree more on, Goldberg is a nostalgia act.
Yes.
I am happy to see him get one more title run.
Yeah, I am.
I am happy to see him back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's gone after Mania.
You don't think so?
But, no, not completely. He has a couple things left. But I do think this Goldberg it's time for him to step aside.
Yes.
And I'm not necessarily saying to step aside from Brock. There is going to be a time in the near future that both he and Brock step aside. But with he being the Eldrod of the two, he's going to step aside sooner. I think he loses the title to Brock in Mania.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But to save his legacy, it can't be the flip side of what he did to Brock. It can't be a 30-second match.
No.
Then all this you've done with Brock and Goldberg has been for nothing.
Yeah.
You brought him back just to bring him back against another big guy.
And
that would be upsetting.
And I understand why he came back, just because, he did it for his family, his son.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And I'm cool with that.
I am happy he came back.
Yeah.
I was thrilled when I saw him.
So was I. It's like, it's always fun to see, like, a former big-time superstar or, a Hall of Famer come back, make an appearance. Like, when, one-man band dude, what's his name?
Heath Slater.
Heath Slater, yeah.
When Heath Slater was, making his little promos on Raw, and every week someone from the past.
Yeah.
Like when Psycho Sid came out, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, like what?
So
yeah.
But,
Quick note: Psycho Sid does tweet daily.
He tweets every Monday during Raw.
Every Monday during Raw.
Yeah.
So if you want some interesting tweets, go to Psycho
Sid.
And
they are quite interesting.
Dude, he's an interesting guy.
He is.
He's still all about wrestling.
We'll throw it off a little bit, but...
Well, aren't we all?
Right.
I was a Transformer earlier in the show.
Right.
So, I mean, having Goldberg come back, especially when Goldberg beat Brock the way he did in the first match, that was maybe my favorite moment of the year. Now, he needs to not overstay his welcome. It does not help Goldberg any to keep the title.
No.
There's a number of different things he could do after the loss to Brock. But he just simply cannot keep this title. It's going to turn him into a nostalgic version of Roman Reigns, and that's not what we want.
No, not at all. Christopher?
I'm going to go with Lesnar, and I'm very disappointed in this main event match. I understand the whole concept of the one more reign with Goldberg and Lesnar being the beast that can knock down anybody, but the fact that Goldberg's been in a WWE ring these past few months for a total of about 200 seconds maybe it's just disappointing. And he even looked awkward when he took that F5 on Monday night 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he did.
And it's just upsetting because this is such a treat to people that don't know what WrestleMania is. It's such a wonderful thing to be a part of and experience.
Right.
And to put that on as your main event, it's a little... It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but I understand the concept. So I'm going to go with Lesnar here to set up Lesnar versus Reigns.
Which
that second part I'll get to. The first thing I was going to say, I believe it was set up for name recognition, as you would probably assume. I think it's directed at nostalgic fans, but at fans who maybe are not paying attention as much to wrestling as we do, but they see headlining WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg for the Universal Championship. I think that is to put asses in seats and put asses at home selling tickets or selling maybe pay-per-views or network subscriptions, because they actually do still sell pay-per-views, believe it or not. I don't know who's buying it because the network's $10 a month,
right?
But, $9.99. But it's nothing more than a nostalgic thing. It's to sell tickets. It's to sell out Orlando.
It's just it's the names they put on a marquee.
That's it. It's two marquee names.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Getting to Brock and Reigns, it just seems too damn easy, and that we've seen this movie before with Brock and Roman. However, a newly formed Roman Reigns beating Undertaker, something Brock also did, could turn into quite an interesting feud if done right. The only issue with Roman Reigns that I have, not to cut you off, the only issue with Roman Reigns I have, even if he turns heel, he still can't talk.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
something
have
he
Paul
definitely has to
Heyman
work
talking against Roman? That's not going to work.
No, that'll get stale. It'll stale quick. But
however, I do kind of see it happen too. But
yeah, let's remember a lot can happen within a year.
Oh, of course,
of course. So, the rumors are that at WrestleMania 34 here in the Silver Dome, New Orleans, Louisiana. It is rumored that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar will be squaring off for, I would assume, the Universal title. But a lot can happen, from now until next WrestleMania. So who knows?
Hey, Brock might abuse the wellness policy again. So,
well, I have an interesting question for both of you. So, as we're talking about all these fun facts of WrestleMania, what about the night after?
Oh,
what surprises are we going to see? Because we all know the night after WrestleMania is the best Raw.
Yeah, of course.
Who is going to be the so-called general manager of Raw?
Right.
Who is going to debut from the NXT brand?
Right.
What veterans are going to come back under new contracts that everybody wants to see? What is going to happen, Jimmy Jam?
What I'm going to go with, to answer pretty much all of that, I believe Kurt Angle comes back as your general manager. He will be in a match eventually, but they don't need to rush him into that. I believe from the NXT brand, the guy they've been waiting on for seemingly 6-7 months would be Shinsuke Nakamura coming up to the main brand. As far as legends or guys from the past, I think Shelton Benjamin is finally healthy enough to come back. That would be SmackDown, though, of course. I think he's going to SmackDown.
I totally forgot about Shelton.
Yeah. And if you don't have Finn or the Hardys or whoever else they wanted to add to Mania, they would maybe show up the next day.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the NXT guys, making an entrance on Raw, dude, you can go anywhere with that. You could. Well, you could probably close your eyes and point, and okay.
I would love to see Bobby Roode.
I was about to say that.
Bobby Roode, for some reason, and I know some people might say, "Oh, well, they base him off of this," but he reminds me so much of what's the other Roode?
Oh, Rick Rude.
Rick Rude.
Ravishing Rick Rude.
The up and coming Hall of Famer.
Ravishing Rick Rude.
The Ravishing one.
He puts just like he did when he was younger. He's such a fun person to watch.
To me, he's like a mixture of Ric Flair and Ravishing Rick Rude.
I agree 100%.
And I think if he really wants to live up to the Rude name, which it is spelled differently from Rude. R-U-D-E. He is R-O-O-D-E. But I think if he really wants to live up to the Rude, the Rick Rude name, he ought to make a speech about sweat hogs.
Sweat hogs have to be mentioned.
When he comes to the ring,
Sweat hogs do have to be mentioned. I would love to see Bobby Roode as well. Although I think obviously Nakamura is more internationally known.
Most definitely.
But
that was kind of a given.
What about the general manager, Jeremy? What do you think about that? And what do you think? Are we going to see any surprising old school wrestlers come back?
Well, as far as the Raw after Mania, I mean, I don't want to. I'm not sure as far as Hall of Famers or former superstars coming back to make any appearances. But as far as the general manager of Raw goes, I think it could go two ways. Obviously the heavy favorite, the buzz is Kurt Angle. which I think would be great. I think that would be so awesome. But and I was talking. Jimmy and I we were watching Raw last week, and I mentioned just randomly. I was just thinking about it. I said, how cool would it be if Eric Bischoff was still in wrestling? Still around. And sure enough, it was announced that he'll be inducting DDP in the Hall of Fame. And so I was like, wow, that's weird. That I mentioned his name, and then, well, here he is. So I don't know. I think Eric Bischoff, is a legitimate candidate to be the Raw's GM. Because he was great when he was doing it.
Yeah, he's good for that position for sure.
Yeah.
And that would, at that point, open up Kurt Angle to just be a wrestler.
Right.
Or lead a faction, or whatever the hell he wanted to do. But in my heart of hearts, I believe the next general manager of Monday Night Raw is the returning Second City Saint, CM Punk.
I like where you go there.
Right. And then you might wake up from your dream.
Well,
as much as we would all love that, right?
Right.
But but I don't know. I think if it was Kurt Angle or Eric Bischoff, I would be excited either way.
Yeah, me too. And obviously, I would like it. I was joking about the CM Punk.
Right.
No, for our 3 listeners at home.
Right.
It went down 1 listener because they heard me talking about Transformers. They didn't like that.
Yeah, they didn't like that.
But yeah, I think either way that would be pretty cool. Or maybe it's somebody we haven't even thought of. That's the type of shit that makes me like wrestling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But
you're correct, but with one name that I'm just going to say, not for the general manager, but that I think you will be seeing on Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam comes around. And I think that is the big bad Bully Ray.
Yeah?
Ooh.
I think...
Another TNA guy, too. I like that.
I think you will be seeing him because there's been a lot of signs that Bubba Ray Dudley has been posing on Twitter and social media that he is in talks with another deal, but not as a tag team.
Oh.
And that'd be fantastic. They want the Bully Ray character.
The Bully Ray character that was in TNA was what Bubba Ray should have been. That guy was great. I mean, he was a badass dude. And having him come to this day and age in wrestling in WWE, put him against whoever the hell you want. He could have epic clashes in the ring. He's older, but he could have epic clashes in the ring. He could have mic battles with whoever.
Oh, yeah.
He could go head-to-head with Bray Damn Wyatt if he wanted to. Bully Ray, to me, would be a perfect fit on the Raw roster or on the SmackDown roster. He's one of those guys that does not need to start in NXT, obviously.
No, obviously, yeah.
That's tremendous, dude.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Bully Ray, like when he was in TNA, wasn't he a part of Aces and Eights?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He was the leader of Aces and Eights.
Right, okay. I didn't watch TNA. I still didn't watch it too often, but I mean, I just wanted
to be honest, it was actually a pretty good swerve. It was similar to Hogan being the third guy in NWO in a way, but the way Bully Ray turned, he was helping Hulk Hogan, and he was the main guy against Aces and Eights.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, they end up helping him in a match, and it's proven that Bully Ray is the leader of Aces and Eights. Right, it was a really good angle that TNA screwed up, but it was a really good angle at the time.
Right.
They had a bunch of guys in it. It was like the NWO for WCW, but it didn't work out the way they thought, I think.
Okay, so real quick topic. Where do we go with Samoa Joe from here? Right now, he's doing Triple H's dirty work. But what are we going to see a Samoa Joe Sami Zayn match? Are we going to see a storyline? How do we go about from that?
They have... The thing that scares me is they have too many options with him. And normally when WWE has too many options with somebody, they dropped the ball. However, I think Samoa Joe's too popular with the WWE universe and just the population in general that watches wrestling. Internet as well. I mean, he's too popular to fail. Where does he go from here? I think he jumps right into the title picture. I don't yet again who that's going to be, but I think he jumps into the title picture in some way.
That's always that seems to have always happened with Triple H's.
Yes,
guys.
Yeah, a guy that's another thing. A guy that he says is his guy, the destroyer. Well, that guy was also Batista at one point in time, who ended up being a multi-time champion.
Right.
So.
Yep. Christopher, do we have any other? I know you have some stuff written down on your list of Jericho.
Nice.
No, I do not. But I would like to say one thing, that I'm going to throw this name for the general manager that I say for Raw should be Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, God.
There you go.
Mr.
Kennedy. Oh, my
Kennedy.
God. Oh, my God.
WWE dropped the ball with him.
Did they drop the ball with him?
I have his action figure in my room.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I bought for
Christmas. They chose Randy Orton over him. They had that backstage thing.
Backstage fight, and they chose Randy Orton.
In all due respect to Mr. Kennedy, he wasn't going to win that. But that is another guy they missed a ball on. We could have an entire 3 hours of guys they missed a ball on, EC3 being another one. But, Mr. Kennedy would be incredible just to see him again back in WWE. But one thing I would like to say, because Uncle Jimmy does have a small bladder, and he's going to have to leave you in a minute. One thing I would like to say is strap on in, get ready for the thrill ride that is WrestleMania 33. But remember, next year, we're going to let the good times roll in New Orleans.
That's right. And we will all be there.
We will
all be there.
Miracle on Bourbon Street.
The Miracle on Bourbon Street. That's right. And we will also be involved in the pub crawl the night before.
Yeah.
We're going to be crawling to New Orleans.
So I think that does it for us for this episode. I'd like to thank my brother Christopher for being a guest on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Did a really good job.
I thank y'all for having me. It was a wonderful experience on the first podcast with y'all, and I hope that y'all have me back to talk about other interesting topics.
Oh, for sure.
I might have you back because you might have showed me up. He might have to be in this sofa next time in the man cave.
We might have to rename it the Bergeron
Podplex.
Podplex.
But there's also the thing of I am a sports god.
You are.
And wrestling is sports and entertainment.
Right.
So, this is the God's throne. So, leaving it at that.
We have two of those, my friend.
Oh, yeah, he's a sports...
I'm not going toe-to-toe, but I will go with you with sports.
We're going to do this at some point, and it's going to be lovely. It's going to be true. It's going to be damn
It's going to be damn true. But thank y'all for listening. Again, I guess we'll try to do an episode after Mania.
Yeah. We could do it a couple days after Mania. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah. So, we're gonna try and get that done, and so we will see y'all next time. See you later.
And Uncle Jimmy would just like to tell you that it is free to listen to, but it is $10 to stop listening. So, figure it out for you. I'm going to be going on to Florida. I'm going to be looking for a couple Jimmy Maniacs. So if you're out in the Panama City area, would love to have a good time with you.
And if anybody would like to hear or ask any questions to me, you can follow me on social media at CMcFlyB on Twitter and CMcFlyB for Instagram.
One more thing I do want to say. Speaking of you and your Instagram and your Twitter, I would like you to... Fletcher Mackerel's actually one of our listeners. So, if you had to say one thing to your idol, Fletcher Mackerel, where would you go with this?
I would tell him he could take his faggot ass back to Banks and Carrollton where them Jesuit Blue Jays suck dick.
And we're done here, folks.
And we're done.
Thank y'all so much.
We're done. We're going to end on that
We
note.
love you. Hope to talk to you soon. Good night.